Thank you for joining me today. Today I want to talk about what happens when things don't go according to plan. What do we do? Now, as I've mentioned in past videos, when a couple meets, they're going out, things are great, they're having a good time, they're enjoying each other's company. There isn't even a thought that how could things possibly go wrong? How could there ever be any kind of friction in this relationship? And, as time goes on, of course, things come up. They'll be in a situation where the husband wants to do X and the wife wants to do Y. How do we deal? How do we navigate this situation or that situation? And as I've mentioned in past videos, does one person always go over to the other side and do what that person wants? Or is there a discussion? Is there an agreement? Do they come halfway sometimes? Sometimes one person goes to one side, sometimes the other person goes to the other side. How do things work out? Now, in my opinion, the way to ensure that things will go well in the future is if there is a discussion near the beginning of the relationship, meaning bring it to the table. Hey, what do you think we should do when there is conflict? Bring that up, ask that question, get it out in the open. This, I think, could actually be a game changer in many relationships, because this question has never been asked, has never been approached in the relationship. When conflict does come up, then there are many assumptions that are made, there are many expectations of the other person, and that causes even more conflict and friction. When one side brings up the question, hey, what are we going to do when there's conflict? What are we going to do when there's disagreement? What are we going to do if there is some major issue that we cannot find a resolution to, that neither of us are happy about? What are we going to do in that situation? Bringing this up is actually opening up the door for a possibility that maybe not everything will be hunky-dory. Maybe things are not going to go so smoothly as we feel they are going at the moment and that we would like them to go. And who knows what's going to be in the future. When this is brought to the table, it kind of shatters the fantasy. It totally, brings to the table the fact that, maybe things are not going to happen. And the fact that we have no idea what conflicts we're going to get into, what situations we're going to get into the future, have really zero relevance. We're not going to be able to say, oh yeah, when this happens and you feel like this and I feel like this, then maybe we'll tackle the conflict like this. We have no idea what's going to come up. But there can be a plan in place that if we get into a situation where we cannot come to an agreement together, then either we go to our local rabbi, or we go to a couples therapist, or we find somebody, a good friend that can help us get through this issue, rather than dealing with it on our own, me feeling like this, you feeling like that, and there being that separation. Bringing this idea to the table, hey, what are we going to do when we get into conflict? How are we going to tackle this? What are we going to do when we get into a situation where we are stuck? Let's talk about that. Let's discuss it and let's see where it goes. We never know, just bringing it to the table is actually breaking the ice of dealing with that and can actually set the tone to dramatically change the way that we approach conflict in the future. So this is my advice for young couples that are dating, or even older couples, whoever you are. And if it hasn't been a conversation, if you've been married many years and this hasn't been a conversation between you and your partner, maybe now is the time to have that conversation. I hope you like my ideas and thoughts. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for joining me.